You're in need of an SUV the size of the Q5, but you don't want to pay for gas anymore. So what are your options? Well, there's the Q4 e-tron, but that's a bit too small. There's also the Q8 e-tron, but that's a bit too big. And also that one's getting discontinued. So your option is, well, the new 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron. On the surface, the Audi Q6 e-tron is just like any other electric vehicle. It has a driving range of just under 500 kilometers, just over that if you get it in the Sportback form. It develops over 450 horsepower and it can be recharged from 10% to 80% in about 20 minutes. So what sets this car apart from other luxury vehicles? Let's start with the battery. It has a 94.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which has a new chemistry composition that gives the Q6 e-tron a 20% improvement in energy density. With the 19-inch wheel option, the 2025 Q6 e-tron has an estimated range of up to 494 kilometers. The upcoming Sportback version increases that number to 513 kilometers. But if you option the Q6 e-tron with 20-inch wheels, then the driving ranges drop to 475 kilometers and 491 kilometers respectively. Thanks to the unique battery chemistry and the 800-volt electrical architecture, the Audi Q6 e-tron can be recharged at a very high rate of speed, up to 270 kilowatts. As I mentioned at the start of the video, 10% to 80% takes about 20 minutes from a really fast level 3 DC charger. And best of all, you don't need to remember on which side the charge port is on because it has one on either side. The only thing to mention is that the level 3 DC charger is on the driver's side. Why is the 800-volt electrical system a big deal? Essentially, it reduces the heat generated by the battery when charging. Increasing the voltage means lower amperage, which allows for faster charging for longer periods with less heat buildup. Eventually, you'll also be able to charge the Q6 e-tron from a Tesla supercharger, as Audi will be adopting the NACS plug, which is what Tesla uses. But enough about charging the battery, let's talk about discharging the battery. The Audi Q6 e-tron comes with standard e-Quattro all-wheel drive. That means that there's one motor powering the back wheels and one motor powering the front wheels. Combined, they produce 422 horsepower. But wait a minute, didn't you say at the start of the video that this car produces 450 horsepower? Well, yes, 456 to be precise, but that's only for brief periods and when launch control is enabled. With launch control enabled, the Audi Q6 e-tron can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 5.1 seconds and on to a top speed of 210 kilometers an hour. Of course, it goes without saying to obey local traffic laws. However, if that's not enough oomph to wake you up in the mornings on your way to work, then there's always the Audi Q6 e-tron. That one produces 509 horsepower with launch control enabled and has a 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time of 4.3 seconds. That's approaching supercar territory. Without launch control, the Q6 e-tron produces 483 horsepower, which is still plenty powerful for a crossover SUV. It can also handle all of that power thanks to the standard S adaptive air suspension, which can quickly and precisely adjust depending on the road conditions and the drive mode that is selected. Unfortunately, the Q6 e-tron does lose a little bit of driving range compared to the regular Q6 e-tron. It has an estimated driving range of up to 443 kilometers, but it still gets the same 800-volt architecture with fast charging capability of 20 minutes from 10% to 80%. The Audi Q6 e-tron is quite a head-turner. Not that the standard Q6 e-tron isn't either, but the Q6 e-tron takes the design up a notch. It features big red brake calipers, unique 21-inch wheels, and digital daytime running lights with 7 dynamic light signatures that the driver can select from. The exterior is not the only striking design of this new crossover. The interior has a strong wow factor. The Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus is the main focal point of this new interior. In front of the driver is an 11.9-inch display, and to the right side is a 14.5-inch MMI display. Both are covered by a single curved piece of glass. Also, the passenger gets an optional 10.9-inch display with an active privacy mode so that it doesn't distract the driver. The Q6 e-tron features the first use of the new Android Automotive operating system. It comes with the latest Audi Connect services such as enhanced e-tron route planner, which can display charging stations along a predetermined navigation route, along with what the battery charge will be at the end of your trip. There are also popular apps such as YouTube, which can be directly embedded into the system without the need of a smartphone connection. In addition, Audi has expanded the voice control options, with the voice assistants being able to recognize up to 800 voice commands. Most of the car's functions, such as the heated seat controls or the climate temperature, are now integrated into the main touchscreen. However, some may not like the new panel that's on the driver's side door. Not only does it incorporate the window switches, but it also incorporates the power locks, the headlights, the exterior mirrors, the memory seats, and the child locks. So this might be a bit too cluttered for some. What won't feel cluttered is the space inside the Q6 e-tron. It's about 3.5 inches longer than the gasoline Q5, and this provides 850 liters of cargo space in the trunk. That's an improvement of 125 liters over the Q5. The Q6 e-tron also makes use of the empty space under the hood with a 56-liter front trunk, or frunk. As for passenger space, it's almost identical to that of the gasoline Q5, both in the front seats and in the back seats. How much will the Audi Q6 e-tron cost you? It starts at $80,445 with the SQ6 e-tron starting at $95,595. Both of which are available right now at OpenRoad Audi Boundary for you to learn more about or to test drive. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.